I decided to come down to closer to the ocean with my chair and just take a peaceful video of the waves. So I'm going to flip this around. My favorite thing in the whole wide world. You know, a lot of people, they come to the beach to party. And rightfully so. It's fun. But this, the absolute majestic and majesty of the ocean and how healing it is, and all of that salt water, like, it takes a lot for me. Look at that wave. This is great. It takes a lot for me to, get salt baths, which I do frequently, at least twice a week, because it rids your body of toxins. That just came up right up behind me. Oh my God, that felt good. But this is exactly why. If you live by an ocean and you do not take advantage of the healing aspects of the ocean, I would like to encourage you to do so, because I don't live by the ocean. I have to drive at least 4 to 5 hours to get to one. But it's so worth it. I think people take for granted the healing properties that are in that body of water. It's a fact. So, if you are anywhere near an ocean and you're depressed, get your butt down and just, you want to know, if I lived in the ocean, I wouldn't care where I lived. If I knew I was struggling with something or going through something extremely hard, I could care less. If I lived in Maine in the winter, if I needed to take a nice dip into the ocean, I would do so. One of the other things that I've been talking to my friend about is the salt deprivation tanks, which I plan on going to do at one point, because of it's a sensory deprivation. Like, basically, it's another therapy or therapeutic way of being able to go into the deep, dark places in your soul and allow all that stuff to come up and be revealed to you, so that you can come to a place like the ocean and release all that. And I kind of just got this revelation. And people might not like it that I'm going to use it, but I'm going to, because it's important. Just the spiritual aspect behind it is when Christians do baptisms and stuff like that. I know a lot of people will do it in a river or in a body of water. And a lot of times they say, well, they'll use the thing that it's because it's an outward expression of their, new body, or, that they're a new creation, and they're publicly announcing they're now a converted person. But I think what I see with this spiritual aspect behind this thing is it's a clearing of that old self. It's a clearing of all that toxicity that we're born with from the time we were born. You know, and regular dips in the ocean are needed for healing. Or salt baths. You know, sage and all that stuff can only do so much, but when you get yourself actually in a body of water and release all that stuff that's been stuck on you, that's why you come home feeling rejuvenated. Some people come home from vacation, obviously, a lot tired than when they left. Depends on what kind of vacation they went on. You come down here and spend time at the ocean, or you go to any ocean or body of water like that has salt in it, I guarantee you're going to feel better. I think it's part of the reason why most people flock to the ocean, because they don't understand why they do it. But there's this healing thing that we need to be grateful for. That was given to us. That's natural. You know, and I wanted to do this video for my own reminder that I can refer back to it because I live in Pennsylvania, that I can refer back to this time of remembrance. I'm going through a really hard time in my life the last few months. Last year's been rough. Last 9 years of my life have been rough. But I always notice some of the best times are in the worst trials. The supernatural don't need to show up when everything's going well, because you'll just dismiss it. The supernatural shows up when you need it the most. So, yep, I wanted to do this video so that, not necessarily for Facebook Live or whatever, but I wanted to do this video as a reminder that I can refer back to it when I'm feeling like crap. So I hope that you all enjoy this as well, who get to watch this and who get to see this. You know, one of the reasons why my channel isn't like Lisa's Tarot. I'm going to show you why right now. Hang on a second. I'm going to show you why. My channel is called Blue Flame Integration. The reason why I chose that name was because I was enlightened to the fact that the hottest part of the flame, which I'm an Aries, so I'm a fire sign, is in the blue. The blue flame is the hottest part of the flame. Well, I was enlightened to this a long time ago. I'm talking probably 15 years ago. I want to show you, 16 years ago. I want to show you. I got a tattoo on my... I don't know if you saw that, but here, I'll stand up and I'll pan onto it. Can you see that? Yeah, ignore the stretch marks, but that's why my channel is named Blue Flame Integration. The writing above it is in Portuguese, because I went to Brazil on a missions trip with outcasts and other people tossed out of their church by narcissists. Because you want to know what? God started doing things in our lives with a healing ministry. And it's interesting how we get connected up with people at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment. I was anointed. I still am. And my gifts That's why I can call myself a spiritual healer. I've actually saw someone healed as a result of laying hands on him and praying over him in Jesus' name. He was healed of a brain tumor. Probably the biggest healing that had taken place. And there was a physical thing. When he came to get prayer, I had a word of knowledge. And he had went to witch doctors. He had went to the doctor. They couldn't afford. In Brazil, 10, 15 years ago, they didn't have good hospitals. So they took him to witch doctors and stuff like that. Hocus pocus people. To each their own. However, his problem got worse. And his brain tumor grew. To the point where it was affecting his eyesight. And it was behind his right eye. He couldn't even have his eye open. He came forward. I didn't even... And I have a picture at home of the day after with his testimony. But I feel things in my body of other people's aches and pains. It's one of the ways God speaks to me. Either that or through impressions. But this was he wanted to touch this kid for some reason. And got that word of knowledge. And then I started feeling the pain in my body. And I had the faith to step out. And if I wouldn't have done that, that kid wouldn't have gotten healed. He was like 21 years old. Started manifesting demonically. Puking. Throwing up. Ended up accepting Christ. Ended up renouncing the demonic ties. And by faith was healed. Through the laying on of hands of Christian people. Which we don't get to see in America very often. However, I've noticed a decline and a downward spiral of health, insurance, and healthcare in this country. So guess what? Those of you who have diabetes and stuff like that, you might, and if you're a spiritual healer, preferably a Christian one, I suggest you get prepared. Because there's going to come a moment in time where you could change somebody's life. That kid was they gave him a few months. Well, the next day the pastors went to his house because he reacted violently to... He got messed with. God messed him up. But it was a good thing. He got healed. Came to the door. His eye was open. You couldn't even... all the pain was gone. He got a haircut. And he could see again. It was one of the most profound things that happened on that trip. And it was because I listened to my gut. And I listened to my intuition. And I did what I was called to do. Whether that whole trip was only for me to go there just to help that kid. Because the universe wanted to touch him. Jesus wanted to touch him. It was all worth it for me. Not to mention I got a lot out of it. A lot. I saw. I know what a demonic manifestation looks like. However, what was a little bit cloudy for me, I didn't get to ever understand the underlying stuff of how demons work behind the scenes. Now I have that under my belt as well, through narcissistic abuse. Mercenaries from hell. They might not come out spitting and screaming and Some do, and some just chalk it up to, oh, well, they're just mad or bitter. Or... I can tell a demonic manifestation from just somebody on the street being a fool. When you've done nothing to somebody and your presence just makes them mad, look out, you're probably dealing with a mercenary from hell. And I'm not saying they have, even somebody has to be possessed. I saw a lot of people who demons manifesting in Brazil. Tons. And it wasn't scary. Like a lot of people they portray in these movies and in Hollywood that it's, you know, it's head spinning, and yes, sometimes people do throw up. But the reason why is because the goodness and your spirit and the supernatural shows up to help these people who are manifesting demonically. And when somebody denies that in their own life, your goodness and the essence of God that you carry and what Source gives you, and they deny that, they're signing their own death certificate. There's nothing you can do about it. Nor should you try. It's the more insidious people and their mistreatment of others on purpose is what's sick. And I got a real good look at that the last 9 years. But as far as like religiosity, church, I don't do that. I've had my experiences. Now it's taking and running with the gifts that I have and helping as many people on the face of the earth to come to the knowledge of truth and love and spread that to the world. It has nothing to do with whether, you know, I don't care if somebody's a witch. That's up to them. Whatever floats their boat. Just don't mess with me. That's all I ask. Because I carry a lot of light that darkness don't want to mess with. Facts. We're to radiate love and light. Not hatred and malice. That's rooted, narcissism is rooted in jealousy, hatred, anger, and fear. Remember I said that. I mean, I get it. Sometimes we have those emotions, but it's what you do with them. If you live in them, you don't trust and turn fear into faith and turn envy and jealousy into joy and happiness for your fellow man, for their success. And if you don't turn hatred into love and kindness and gentleness, you're nothing. If you're only here to do bad people bad or good people bad, your judgment day's on coming. Just so you know. Either way, it's kind of a channeled message I figured I'd give you. Didn't mean to say all that. I kind of just got out here with the ocean, and here I am enjoying the ocean. I wanted to give you all a taste of the beauty of nature and the healing properties and the clarity that you get just by getting your butt outside and into the ocean. It's amazing. I feel great. I'm sunburned, but I'll regret it later. For right now, I'm enjoying my life. Either way, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I just wanted to give you a little bit of the beauty of nature and something for me to refer back to on my bad days when I'm feeling like crap. So you take it easy, guys. I love you. Bye-bye, YouTube.